You will not recognize yourself 6 months from now if you actually take that chance and do something different.
Most people will just wing it. They'll just not think through the steps that they need to take to get the thing done.
You can't see what's going on most times because your perspective is so one-dimensional. You're just right here.
You can listen to us and implement all day long, but until you go and do it, it's theory.
There is a cost to not taking action. You have to install the play in your business to determine whether it worked or didn't work.
Welcome to the 7-Figure Salon podcast with Rachel and Drew. I'm Drew.
I'm Rachel.
Welcome to the show. Today, we want to talk about timing. We want to talk about the right time to do the thing to get the business to the next level. So a lot of times they're waiting for the right time to do what they know they need to do yesterday. You want to talk a little bit about timing.
Timing is definitely a factor in whether people take action or don't take action. But I also think that a lot of times people are like, at least people we talk to on a pretty much daily basis, like there's kind of a clear division between like those that are willing to take action and are ready to like get after it and like build their business, and then those that are like they're kind of operating in their like how would you would say like their circumstances. Well, it's like, oh, it's raining today, therefore I'm not going to go to the gym. It's like, well, you could work out inside. You could get an umbrella. You could go do these other things. But the thing is like, you know, that everyone has that thing in them that's designed to keep them safe. You know, it's designed to keep you comfortable. We are humans. We like to be comfortable, right? So in the moment that you become, protected, you want to feel safe, you know, comfortable, insert word here. But like ultimately, if you aren't happy with where your business is right now or where your life is right now, there's going to have to be a time, whether you determine when that time is, or you just get sick and tired of waiting around and you're like, you know what? I'm sick of making excuses. I'm sick of the way my life is. I'm sick of the way my business is. I am going to make a change. And nobody can make that decision for you. You have to draw the line in the sand of when enough is enough for you. And your line in the sand might be further down the beach than my line in the sand, you know? So you're going to have to make that decision for yourself. And a lot of times the timing is almost a smokescreen of like what people will say in order to just stay safe, stay comfortable, and play in that little sandbox of like, you know, like excuses, excuse land, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think that could be the determining thing that creates the world that people really want, like you're talking about, and the ones that struggle. And when I say struggle, like it's all a struggle. It's difficult to do. It's difficult for us to get together on Fridays at the end of the week and do podcasts. It's not easy doing one way or the other. They're both difficult. So our thought on this is do the thing that's going to get you the life you want, the impact that you want, the companies that you want, the money that you want. And money's the tool to leverage your time to do what you want with it. It's impact. If you want to make an impact on the world, you cannot do that without money. You can do it with your time a bit, but that's just you. If you really want to go make a difference with your time here, you have to have money to do that. And it's difficult, and it's going to be uncomfortable building something that will equate enough income to make a difference. And sure, it's a struggle, it's hard, and there's not going to be the right time to do it, but you are going to have to step over the line in the sand that Rachel's talking about, because guess what? Right after that, there's going to be another line in the sand that's going to be more uncomfortable, more difficult, you know? Honestly,
you will progressively, like you will not recognize yourself 6 months from now if you actually take that chance and do something different. 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever it might be, you may look down the road back at your old self and be like, wow, I don't even recognize her. I have no idea who that is. Like, I love her, but I have no idea who that is. I'm so different now, right? I'm still me, but I'm a different level of me than I've ever been before.
Evolved.
Yeah, you evolve. Like, you grow up, you become wiser, you become smarter, you become more tactical. You know, you should be. But if you look down 5 years ago and you're looking at the same freaking person and nothing's changed within yourself, and also then you look at your business or your life or your marriage or your relationships and you're like, yeah, like nothing's changed there either. It's actually declined. Chances are it's because you haven't changed. You haven't changed. You haven't decided that you wanted to do something differently. And, you know, and some people are happy living that life. Some people are. Some people are. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just if you have goals of having an incredible life full of impact and wealth and an opportunity, that life does not come through those types of actions. That life comes through taking action. Actually, an action is really just one foot in front of the other. Mm-hmm. It is not this like massive, big, like moment. It's just you going, you progressing, you moving, making decisions, making the best decisions that you can. You're not going to get it right every single time, but you know, if you can get it right most of the time, at least you're doing something.
You said something really, really, really great, and I want to highlight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's because of the jacket.
You got me this jacket for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, I'm kind of jealous. It's good.
It's actually
a great,
purple.
Gray jacket.
It's purple.
It's purple.
Lavender.
Is that purple or Josh, what color is that?
It's lavender. I think every man in this world is colorblind.
Don't make it this a sexist thing. That's the great jacket.
It's a fact. If you're a woman listening to this, you know that your man is colorblind. All right, go ahead.
So there's, you know, she said something that's really good about, and it's really in the world of performance and action taking. So if you're going to launch ads, if you're going to start that business, if you're going to build that team, you got to identify what those steps are. We refer these to as bricks sometimes. She just talked about them as steps. So how do I get, like, I'm looking out the front of our office, like how do I walk out that front door from where I'm at? What are the steps? What are and I mean logical, pragmatic, real, not philosophical. I just need to get to that door and be better at movement. You know, that's a lot of what the advice people get. But if we really break down, what does Drew need to do to go walk out the front of that door? I'm going to have to push myself back out of my chair. I'm going to have to stand up, turn left or right, walk one foot in front of the other, literally.
Wait. You forgot to take your headphones off.
I would have to take my headphones off.
You would have tripped on the floor.
I would have tripped on my head. That would have been a mess.
Yeah. See, there's details that you may not see.
Mm-hmm. And there, I need to extend my hand, open the door, and walk. It seems ridiculous, but when you're building out a company or you're looking to get to the next level, you have to map out that detailed of actual steps that you need to take. And I know I'm literally talking about steps here, but I think it's good for what I'm trying to describe. And most people will just wing it. They'll just not think through the steps that they need to take to get the thing done. And then you need to freaking do the steps. You have to execute those steps instead of looking at the dream 20 years. Now, if you lay out those steps, whether it be building your salon to $1 million, starting your location, building a team, anything that you're looking to do in the world of building or growth, you're going to have to lay that out. You're going to have to do it. And then you're going to have to revisit, okay, I'm halfway through. Am I on the right path? You might need to reroute. You might need to course correct.
I have been using this example all week long because Super Bowl happened recently, and I'm going to use it here because I think it makes a lot of sense and it's very relevant. Most times, salon owners, business owners, whatever, it doesn't matter if you're a freaking florist. Like, it doesn't matter. If you own a small business...
I think they crush it.
Florists?
I do think they crush it.
I wouldn't be able to be a florist. I get sneezy. That's why the flowers you got me are over there. Okay, so doesn't matter what kind of business you have. If you are a small business owner, which most people who own businesses in this country are, you are going to be likely managing people. You likely have people working for you, unless you're working for yourself. You know, that's a different story. So I'm going to relate this to football. You've got, if you, for example, you're up in the stands, right? Which all of us would be because we're not freaking NFL stars on the field. We're all up in the stands, right? Some of us have, more expensive tickets than others. Some of us are in the suite. Some of us are on the front row. Some of us are in the nosebleed section. Whatever the case may be, you're in the stands. You're not on the field. In our business, though, it's not like that. You guys are all up on the field. You can't see what's going on most times because your perspective is so one-dimensional. You're just right here. You can't look up above. You can't look from the side. You can't, your perspective is so skewed. And I was just talking to a couple clients this week about this because we're building out their company playbook right now. And every single business should have a company playbook. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because what ends up happening when you don't have one is you're the coach on the sidelines of the game screaming at your players, or maybe you're not actually screaming at your stylist. I hope you're not. But like, you're frustrated, you're irritated, you're resentful, you want to pull your hair out sometimes, whatever that might look like being a business owner. And you're upset with your people, yet you didn't actually communicate to them what the plays are. You don't even have the laminated playbook like the coaches do on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. And then you're frustrated with your people because they aren't executing the play. Guess what? You didn't even you didn't even train them on the play. So really, who's at fault? Most times it's us. It's us as the business owner. Drew and I have found ourselves in this predicament very often over the last 10 years of business separately, last 5 years of business together. Like, we find ourselves here, and most times in those moments of frustration or resentfulness or irritated, whatever the case may be, it's usually going to circle back to us.
Mm-hmm. And I'll even take what she's saying a step further with the sports analogy. Sports is great because there's a clear defiant, there's a winner and there's a loser.
Yep.
The ones that won performed and played the game better. Business is a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I love looking at money and business like a game. We have really grown, and it's a difficult game, but we've grown to love the game of building companies and expanding and growing. So are you in the stands? What are the kinds of the conversations that people are having in the stands? They're talking to each other about the players on the field. Me and Rachel are players on the field. When we have conversations, we discuss things like players on the field would discuss. It is straight based on performance. The Kansas City Chiefs were not talking about their feelings and circumstances when they were on the field and they won the Super Bowl. They got to work and they made moves. They took action in a step-by-step approach with the plays, but the conversations that the players have and the coaches have on the field are completely different than the people in the stands. The people in the stands are talking about the players on the field. Mm-hmm. So are you talking about your business in the stands, and what are you doing? What are they doing if they're just talking about the game? They're not in the game. They're not playing the game.
They're not in the game. So there's two different sides of this. Okay. So when you're thinking strategy and stuff like that, like, again, you got to have plays. You have to have a playbook. Your players, your stylists, your leadership team, your management, your front desk, your assistants, whatever, and whoever is in your business, they need to know what their position is on the field. They also need to know what plays are they responsible for playing out and have somebody calling the plays. Okay. Eventually, though, what we want is, and this is what Drew and I, we work closely with a select few people in our program, work very, very closely with them because they're incredible women. Most of them are married. Their husbands are also coaching with us, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. And they're building multiple locations. We've got some people wanting to franchise. We've got some people starting their own brand. Like, it's so cool, like the variety of things you have going on. What we're trying to do with those people, because they already have the playbook. They have the A players, the star players. They've got the managers calling out the plays, right? Like, they're doing all of that. That's great. Now what they get to start doing is inching their way towards the suites, right? So then they become like, the rich guy with glasses and the suit that is 5.5 feet tall, that owns the freaking Kansas City Chiefs. They can become like that person where they're in the suites. They get to be with their families there. They get to enjoy amazing meals there. They get to be able to see the game and enjoy the game, right? That's where we want to get you guys to. But you can't get up there without actually knowing what's happening on the field, building the plays, building the team, like knowing that the plays that you're having your players run are actually working, that they're actually like sufficient plays. So all of those things are things that are super, super important that most people aren't even willing to do. Most people are going to, like Drew's saying, they're going to just sit. You're not going to be in the suites, and you're not even going to be on the field. You're just going to be sitting in the bleachers, just
waiting,
talking about the game, waiting, making excuses. Oh, well, Kelsey, go, it's just like, you try and go do that. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you mean? They're
doing it. You're talking about the game. They're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing the game. At least they're giving effort, where you might be in the stands just talking about your players. I see this a lot. And look, there is a cost to not taking action. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, it could be several things. Your team is maybe they can't win because you're in the middle. You're like refusing to take action and also refusing to give them the support and resources and systems and plays they need to where you can then go sit in the suites. You got to be either on the field or in the suites. You can't just sit in the freaking in the middle doing a whole lot of nothing, you know, and that doesn't mean that like you're not doing something. I don't know of a single salon owner that doesn't do something, but the things that you're doing, are they actually making a difference, or is it just busy work?
That's a good point, because it does require work and actions to go sit in the stands and talk about a game.
Sure, you're doing something, but you're not doing like the thing that actually makes the most difference, which is going to be the score. Yeah. And really, when you guys think about the score in football, in business, is the number of is money. It's how much money is in the bank, how much money is top line revenues coming into your business, right? And like that is the score of your business is money.
How well are you helping humans? That's the scoreboard. That's your performance. That's the business.
That's your reviews on your Google page.
You know, and you got to drive things that drive the score. And it always comes back to people. And the money is a side effect. You know, if you want to make more money, create more value for humans. Like that is how money is made.
Create more value for your team, you know, and it's so cool to see our team. Like every year we do these amazing one-on-ones. We do these amazing, like, you know, education days with our team. We do mandatory education 4 times a year, and it's like a whole day of education. We're all together, and we get our team very much involved. Our team has opinions. Our team has ideas. It's very collaborative. What everybody has to say is important. Now, is it always every single small thing, everything going to get implemented in the business right then, right there? Usually not. But there is a time and a place where that idea fits, and everybody knows that their ideas are welcome. But like, if you're not even like, if you're expecting your players on the team to respect you and your players on the team to want to perform for you, and yet you're just sitting in the stands just talking about them and not doing anything to support them, or complaining about what they're doing when there's no resources, there's no systems, playbooks, nothing, like you're gonna have to, you're never gonna win the game ever. You're never gonna win the game. I would rather the score be down and you're on the freaking field playing with them, helping them, supporting them, like passionately on the sidelines, like cheering them on, and the score not be maybe what you might want, than you sitting in the stands.
Well, that's how the teams get good and great. And
practice. You have to get your reps in.
You got to go through what she just described. That's likely what it's going to look like for you in the beginning. You're likely going to be out there.
You're all in the field, yeah.
All up in the field, just bombing, just not doing great, you know. And then you learn by doing this, you acquire wisdom, because you can listen to us and implement all day long, but until you go and do it, it's theory. So there are invisible things that you will come to find once you go take these ideas and take this direction that we give you and you implement it in your business, because you're going to learn a lot while you're doing it. And it's impossible for us to describe every single nook and cranny of what it's going to feel like and what it's going to be like to go actually lead your team to win the game. And if you're talking about, if you're discussing the game in the stands and your team sees you doing that, the whole point that we do these quarterly gatherings with them is so they can make sure that we're doing, talking, and executing on the actual plays of the salon.
I want to also kind of close out with this, because there's a lot of education available all the time to everyone. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. You can look outside the industry for this. We certainly have. And look, at the end of the day, you have to take action on what you learned. You have to install the play in your business to determine whether it worked or didn't work. But a lot of times, people, very much like if you're a consumer of content, if you're scrolling Instagram, I'm going to compare this to like Pinterest. Okay, Pinterest is great, but you can feel real accomplished coming off Pinterest. I can go pin all the workouts I want into this like beautiful little workout folder, but did I actually do any of the workouts? No, I did not. So I could come off that Pinterest session feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking healthy and fit. Look at me. And I didn't do shit. I literally just pinned a bunch of workouts to a folder, and I didn't actually go to the gym. Did I actually get out of my bed? No. Did I actually drive to the gym? No. So a lot of times I see people too that they're just consuming content. Whether you're a stylist, you're a salon owner, you're both, your assistants are in the back room scrolling, watching hair videos, this. Guess what? They might have done it in their brain, but they didn't actually do it in real life. And in this world that we're in, it is so important that you guys actually take action in real life and not just like live this like this alternate reality in your mind as to what your business like if you have the knowledge, go do it. Go actually do it. And instead of just, I'm going to sign up for this course, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do this thing. It's like, that's the same reason a lot of people buy an online course and never even log in. I can't tell you how many people have bought little mini courses and things that we do that have never even logged in. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I want you
to go do it. It's right there. And even though it's right there, and even though you have access, and you don't have to go fish and find the plays. Like, they're right here. They're great. They work over here. They work up there. They work all over the country. Still, there is that decision that is made of, I'm too busy. It's raining, whatever. I have a client. I mean, there's all these things. You are in control of your life, not me, not Drew, not anyone else. Like, you're in control of your life. And if something is that important to you, you will make it happen. And we know that as humans, like Drew, he used this example. I don't know how many months ago it was, but he was like, he's like, if somebody found out that they were like terminally ill or something, or they had to have this surgery in order to live, like, that person would press pause on everything else and they would go fix that one thing. They would go do whatever it took to get that surgery, do that thing, follow that health protocol, whatever. But for whatever reason, in business or in relationships sometimes, even though something is like, I saw this quote today. It said something about CPR. It was like, don't do CPR on something that's already like dead or something. That's kind of dark, but but it made a lot of sense, because it's like, a lot of times, like with people, I'm gonna pull it up. A lot of times with people in our business, sometimes we'll hang on to people too long because we're afraid to make a decision to let them go. A lot of times we'll continue servicing a client who's toxic, who is not our ideal client, who's paying rates from freaking 2002. It's like there's, oh, okay, sorry. It's not as dark as I thought. Stop giving CPR to dead situations. I heard that, I saw that today. I thought that was like really, really good.
And really what that really is alluding to is, do the things that you need to do and do the right things that you need to do.
Yeah.
And do it. Don't get distracted by all these other things that aren't going to get you to where you need to go. Because what's going to get you to where you need to go, like I described, like what are the physical things that you need to do to walk through the door? Lay them out, list them out, and then do them. They're not going to be magical wizardry. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be very clear. Simple scales, fancy fails. So it's got to be simple. A lot of you know what you need to do. You just need the permission to go do it. So go do the thing.
Well, and also if you kind of envision, like if I were to like have a mirror image of myself and I'm looking at her and I'm just like, get out of my way. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's going to be you in your way. Most times.
Always you.
Me?
No.
Oh.
No, it's always you. Like, we're talking about
rude. Okay, but like it is most times going to be you that's standing in your way, and sometimes it can be like, okay, well, I have this person, on my team who's sucking the life out of me, who's not servicing the clients correctly, who's toxic in my environment. It ultimately is still you standing in the way. It's not that person standing in the way. It's you standing in the way, because you could just. You bye. You hired them. You can fire them and get them out of the way, and then that way everything can be a lot better. But again, circumstances, timing, insert excuse here. There's always going to be something that you're going to be going head to head with. But again, you have to determine where's that line in the sand for you, and the sooner you can draw that line and step over it, the sooner you can have growth in your business. Like, and you can actually like take back your your power in your business, really, instead of just letting your, like, business can sometimes feel like you're riding a bull and like you don't know how to control it, when really it's like, well, if I took bull riding lessons, like, I could ride a bull. It's very similar to that. So it's very much how it is in the beginning anyway, at least for us.
Yeah, so find what you need to do, and there's no original ideas in business. So if you're looking to scale the $1 million salon, we can help you with that. You don't have to use us. Do something. If there's a knowledge gap, acquire the knowledge. Implement the knowledge you learn. It's that simple. There's a ton of great things out there. Just make sure you're getting advice from people who have done what you want to do. Don't go get advice from marketers. Now you have to we're marketers. We have to market, but we own salons. So if you're going to build a gym, make sure that you're getting advice from people who know how to build a great gym. If you're looking to build a media agency, make sure you're getting advice from people that know how to do that. There are tons of people out there that don't actually know how to do or have not done what they're teaching, and it's theory. So make sure you're getting a map, not an idea. So we'll leave it there.
Yep. All right, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week. And as always, we'll see you on the next episode.
Later.